was like strange too, because it was like all this stuff was happening to me while I was seeing synchronicities. And what I mean by that is, like, if I look at a clock and it say 11:11, now I'm like, okay, cool, that was, you know, same numbers, 111, 111. But once I started seeing it frequently throughout the day, it was like, hold on, you know, this is kind of weird. Like, what's going on? Am I the only one who's seeing this? In my head, that's what I'm thinking, you know? Welcome. Thank you for tuning in to this video. I appreciate it. In this video, I want to talk about my spiritual awakening, and I'm pretty sure if you clicked on this video, then you may have went through a spiritual awakening as well. And I would like for y'all to share y'all or a snippet of what it was like, and or comment below as to what was the point that started your spiritual awakening. For me, the start of my spiritual awakening, it was heartbreak. It was heartbreak that started my spiritual awakening, because I think that's when my heart was like open, like everything, all the love that I have gave, and for it to just shatter, you know, it kind of, I look at it as it also opened a new side of me, you know. Everything that I've put my all into, or who I put my all into, you know, end up breaking my heart. And I end up, it was for a reason. Well, I'm gonna get to that in a moment, but at the time I didn't know that. At the time I was lost and confused as to why. You know, you get to asking the Lord, why is this happening? You know, you just asking a lot of questions to the universe as to why you meet the people, why you meet this person, or why this happened to you, why your heart is achingly in pain. You know, you gave your all and things didn't turn out the way you wanted them to. So it was just like going down a rabbit hole. Once I had that happen to me where my heart broke, it opened up spiritually another door to myself, because I started asking all these questions, and the universe was answering them at the same time. You know, mind you, when you're in a heartbreak, you don't want you might get into a depressive mode where you don't want to be around a lot of people. It's just wanting that time alone. And then what I didn't know at the time, which was good, you know, sometimes we try to fight it and have people, you know, come and give us advice to push us through, and that's good too. But for me in my situation, it was good for me because I had time alone to think. I had time alone to sit with my emotions, feel that pain, you know, and to figure it out, you know. What was my next step? What was my next move? What was I going to do? Or how was I going to get myself out of that situation? You know, you in those emotions, and sometimes it can feel long, and you want to get out of it, you know, but you can't. So that was the point for me, and the universe would send me so many things. I started researching, at the time, not really researching, but I was coming across information that was opening my eyes, you know, asking what's the meaning of my name. I started getting information about numerology, astrology, so many others. And I was using these avenues, which it will be books, it will be people, it will be social media, that will come into my presence, and I will find interesting because it resonated. And I was using these tools, And it was starting to be so profound because it was like exactly what I was going through, and at the same time it was like strange too, because it was like all this stuff was happening to me while I was seeing synchronicities. And what I mean by that is, like, if I look at a clock and it say 11:11, now I'm like, okay, cool, that was, same numbers, 111, 111. But once I started seeing it frequently throughout the day, it was like, hold on, this is kind of weird. Like, what's going on? Am I the only one who's seeing this? In my head, that's what I'm thinking, And then when the more I started to see it, it would be 11:11, 222, 333, 444. The list goes on, all the numbers, right? And they will always be synchronized. And the more I started getting it into my reality, I said, wait a minute, let me look into this. Let me find out what this means. See if anybody else went through it. I would Google it, And from there, it was like one thing to the next, as far as going down the rabbit hole of the many workings of this universe. Nothing is by chance, nothing is by coincidence. Everything is in its divine timing, And I started looking up the meanings of 11:11, and that was the main point as to saying that you are right where you need to be. You are right where you're supposed to be. Because at that time, I was being set down to actually see myself. We go through life just la-di-la-di-da, thinking we're just doing whatever we want to do, but not realizing that sometimes the universe, not sometimes, but most of the time, the universe is playing a hand in your life. And what I had to do, even with the situations I was going through, like, that was supposed to happen for a reason, If I didn't have that heartbreak, I wasn't able to ask these questions or, figure things out as to why what is what is, why I am who I am. Why do I operate the way I do? So, in that, I had a spiritual awakening with that, and it just led to one thing after the next. I started knowing more about myself. It was amazing, because it was very mind-blowing, the things I was learning so fast and happening to me. And all I would do is just study and research, about these things. And I was realizing that I was like, I don't really fit in a world like that, Everybody is working and doing things the way they want to do it, or how they think you should do it. But in all actuality, I wasn't one of them. I wanted to do things my way. I didn't want to be going around in a rat race where everybody is just constantly chasing money. Like, when we shed all this materialism down and we get to the naked eye of who we are and why we are who we are, you realize it doesn't matter. Even the richest person in the world sometimes isn't satisfied with what they have, because it's the things money can't buy. But that's part of my my spiritual awakening that I was having.